ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وبسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome all to our fourth session today, where we are continuing to learn the properties of nouns. Alhamdulillah, we have covered, before the properties of noun, we started off with the types of words, and then we started off with the first property of noun, which is the type of noun, followed by the gender, which was our last class, and inshallah today we are going to be covering the number of nouns. So before I get into all the details about the class, we dive into the class, a little note for you: there are lessons that are for today. You will find in the link below. Lesson 4, you will find a handout A and handout B. Also, you will find the answer key for lesson 3 in there. So you will find all those at the bottom of your screen. Along with all that, you will also find the link to subscribe to Epic YouTube. You will also find the various options that you can use in order to donate to Epic and support Epic through this pandemic. So Jazakumullahu khairan for all your du'as and support. Now, inshallah, continuing with our lesson, our two students here on the screen with us, connecting through Skype, Salwa and Sadia. Now, Salwa and Sadia, both of them will be, of course, participating today. However, Sadia is going to be in the hot seat. Salwa is not feeling well, so I'm not going to be asking her questions so that she does not need to talk. She's fine, alhamdulillah. It's just that her jaw is hurting a little bit, so make du'as for her. This is commitment, this is dedication. Despite her illness, she's here to learn. MashaAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, Salwa, and He progress you in your effort, in your dedication to get close to Him, inshallah. And Sadia too, for being the brave one today and taking it all on you today, inshallah. All right, so let's get started with our lesson 4, where we are going to be talking about the number of nouns. Sadia, before I teach you about the number of nouns in Arabic, you are going to teach me singular and plural in English. All right? So let's try this. I'm going to pull up a blank screen up here, okay? And you're going to tell me how to make the plural for this word. I'm going to write a word, all right? And you're going to help me make the plural for it. So I've written boy. How do I make the plural for it?
You just add an S.
I can't hear Sadia.
Oh.
Get closer. How do I make the plural for boy?
You add, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if everybody else can hear her, but this is how we make the plural for boy, right? We add an S and we say boys. Let's go ahead with our next word. How do I make the plural for girl in English? It is G-I-R-L-S, right? How do I make the plural for pen in English? I just go ahead and add an S. Sorry, Sadia, due to technical difficulty, I just took over the lesson. So I'm the teacher, I'm the student, okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and do this for the audience. So boy, boys, right? I went ahead and added an S. Girl, girls, I just went ahead and added an S. Pen, pens, I just went ahead and added an S. So that's how we make our plurals in English. Now let's put another word down there. If I want to make a plural for man, what am I going to do? Is this correct? Mans? No, right? I cannot simply, Salwa is smiling, so that tells me that they can hear me, alhamdulillah, all right? So man, mans, right? This does not work. Similarly, if I have to have woman, and if I have to make its plural, I cannot simply add an S and make a plural, right? So we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but first, this adding S in English, the way we made the plural for boy, the way we made for girl, plural for girl, the way we made the plural for pen. We simply added an S, right? If you look at the screen, we simply added an S. It's the same process in the Arabic language, all right? So when we have a singular word, and in a little bit I'm going to show you words, when we have a singular word, right, the way we make it a plural is there is an addition at the end, like we have it in English language, and we are going to find out the equivalent of S in the Arabic language. What is the equivalent of S in the Arabic language? So let's take a look for that. I'm gonna show you my next document, which is in the links below. You will find it's lesson 4B. So if you can open that up, what it shows you is here. Let me make it big for you. So this is the word قد, the first one, قد أفلح المؤمنون, right? So if you see المؤمنون, the word is highlighted, the two words that are highlighted, wow and noon, which is highlighted. That is the equivalent of your S in Arabic language. Simple, una, okay? If I know that boy, if I have to make it a plural, I just have to add an S. Boy, boys, right? Girl, girls, that's the S. Similarly, in the Arabic language, if I have the word al-mu'minu, that's my singular, okay? Al-mu'minu, that's my singular. If I want to make it plural, the equivalent of a S is una, al-mu'minuna, and that's basically what is being highlighted in the document that is on the screen for you, right? So let's take look at a few other examples here. Look at this one, okay? Here. Same thing. The singular for this will look like this. Ha, she, on. Okay? This is how the singular is going to look. Now, how do I make it plural? I simply go ahead and add my una. That's my S. Okay? Let's look at other examples. You have mu'ridun here. Okay? So mu'ridun, same thing. My singular is going to look like this. Okay? Mu'ridun. How do I make it plural? I simply go ahead and add the una, which you see over here. So your una, keep this in mind. Your una is the S in the Arabic language, in the English language, okay? So boy, boys, right? Girl, girls. Similarly, in the Arabic language, it will be muslimun, muslimuna, mu'minun, mu'minuna. That's your one is your singular, the other one is your plural. Or you have kafirun, kafiruna, or you have jahidun, jahiduna, right? So the una is the equivalent of your S. Let's look at few more examples here just to make sure that you have it right. You have the una again over here, right? So whenever I see my una ending, right? Whenever I see my una ending, that's the equivalent of my S. And it indicates to the noun being plural. So fa'ilun, the singular would have looked like this. Fa'ilun. Now it can be proper and common, it does not matter. The ending is going to be una if it is a plural. Make sense? Sadia, can you hear me now? Can you speak up? Oh, okay, great, your voice is back. All right, alhamdulillah. Okay, so what did I say, Sadia? Can you repeat for me so that I know that you got it?
Okay, so basically you said that the una at the end of these nouns is basically the S in the Arabic language.
Okay, so if I want to make a plural in the Arabic, right, I give you a word like jahidun. How will you make it a plural?
So it would be jahiduna, you just add una.
You would just add una. So let's do a couple of more words with you. If I were to make the plural for nadirun, how would I make it?
Nadiruna.
Nadiruna. Now, quickly answer, nadirun, is it masculine or feminine?
It's masculine.
It's masculine. So nadiruna will be masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Masculine, right? So this is one difference, all right? Like in the English language, we don't have that gender distinction, right? Because not every word has a gender, but in the Arabic language, because every word has a gender, so now the masculine form is the una, okay, for plural. There is another form for the feminine plural. So that's what I'm going to show to you in a little bit, okay? Here, one last masculine before we move on to the feminine. Sadia, can you go ahead and read this for me?
Fa'izuna.
Fa'izuna. So give me the type for this noun.
So the type is proper.
Proper, very good. And what is the gender?
The gender is male.
The gender is male. And what is the number? Singular or?
Oh, it's plural.
It's
una.
okay. It has the una, so it's the plural, right? Now, look at this one here. See, read this for me.
Mu'minatu.
Al-mu'minatu. What is highlighted in red at the end?
The alif and ta.
The alif and ta is highlighted, right? So here, this is, you know how we said in una, right? Una is the equivalent of s for the male plural in Arabic, okay? Una is the equivalent of s for the male plural in Arabic. What do you think this is? You want to guess? Atu?
The feminine.
Yes, this is the feminine plural, right? This is the feminine s, okay? Or if you want to call, if you want to say this is the feminine equivalent of the s in the Arabic grammar. Got it? Mm-hmm. For the Arabic plurals. So you have al-fa'izun, una. Una indicates to a male plural, and atu indicates to a female plural. All right, so we have the singular and the plural. Make sense so far? Mm-hmm. Let me recap really quick because we had some little technical difficulty there. So just to make sure that everybody got this point. So what we started today is that we're talking about the number of nouns, right? And in Arabic, the number is, there's the singular, right? And we spoke about the plural, but there's another number in Arabic, which is dual. So we have the singular, we have the dual, and then we have the plural. So we have three categories, right? Now, how do we identify a singular or a dual or a plural in the Arabic language? And that's where I went ahead and I gave you some examples in English to tell you that in English, when we want to make a plural of something, the standard way or the standard rule is that we simply add an S, right? Boy, boys, girl, girls, all of that. Similarly, in Arabic, if we want to make a plural of a noun, okay? Now, because everything has a gender, so that's why we have a specific ending for a masculine noun, and then we have a specific ending for a feminine noun. We need to keep that in mind, right? I'll repeat. We have a specific ending for the masculine noun, and we have a specific ending for the feminine noun. The ending for the masculine noun, which is the equivalent of an S in the Arabic language, is una, waw and noon, 2 letters, okay? Waw and noon for the plural. And that's the masculine. For the feminine, it's atu, alif and ta, the both ta, all right? Not the ta marbuta, the both ta. So you have the alif and the ta ending, all right, to indicate to you that it's a feminine plural, and the waw and the noon to indicate to you that it's a masculine plural. Simple as that. So we spoke about the singular, we spoke about the plural, but we said that there is another number in the Arabic language, and that is your dual, right? Usually in Arabic, in English, if you want to point to something too, we just say both, or 2 pens, or 2 boys, or 2 girls, or both of them, right? But in the Arabic language, there is a specific ending that indicates to the noun being 2, all right? Or the noun being dual. And what is that? It is the ani. Let me just get this out here. Okay, here. If you look at number 9, okay? If you look at number 9, you see over here, kalimatani, you see the ani ending, right? Look at the next word, khafifatani, Ani. So this is indicating to you that these nouns are dual. All right, so una ending, all right, when we look at the una ending, we say that it's plural, and if we have the ani ending, we know that it is dual. Let's look at another one here. Look at this one. Thaqilatani, right? The fatha is missing. Thaqilatani, same thing, ani ending, all right? You can call them ending combinations because it's not just one letter, right? We have two letters at the end. Whether it is indicating to our dual or to our plural, we have two letters that come at the end to indicate that the word is either singular, that the word is either dual or the word is plural, right? So for the dual, we're simply going to look for the ani ending, alif and nun, okay? Jannatani, right? Khafifatani, walidani, ani, parents, right? So kitabani, two books, right? Bintani, two girls. Waladani, two boys. You simply add the ani. Like you added una to make a noun plural, you add the ani to make the noun dual, all right? So you have the singular. Singular is very simple. It's just the dhamma at the end. It will either be dhamma or it will be dhammatain. So it will be like muslimun or al-muslimu. So you can say that for the singular, the noun actually has an ending sound, okay? Like muslimu, all right? If it's a proper, al-muslimu, right? And if it is common, muslimun, un. And these are ending sounds. If it's feminine, al-muslimatu, right? Or al-muslimatun, right? So these are ending sounds that we're going to look for or hear for, right? In order to determine whether it's singular, dual, or plural. Now, let's move to my dual, right? If I have a noun that sounds like kitabani, ani. Ani is telling me that it's dual. That ending is telling me that it's dual. However, it's masculine. Okay? Simple. For plural, you simply add the ta. Kitabatani. Okay? Kitabatani. It's just the ta that is added that makes it feminine. All right? Now let's move on to our plural. When we go to our plural, you have al-muslimuna, right? Al-muslimuna, I just added the una there to make it plural. For my feminine, I'm going to go ahead and add atu, al-muslimatu, atu, to make it plural. Let's go to your handout for A, okay? And you have all the whatever I spoke about, all the notes are mentioned in your packet. Let's go over them really quickly to make sure that everybody has gotten this perfect, okay? So the number of nouns here, it is singular, dual, or plural, right? And then continuing, we start with the singular, or it's called al-mufrad. If the noun is singular, this is basically what the ending is going to look like. You see this? I've just blown it up for you. This is how it's going to look like. So if it is a proper, all right, if it's a proper one, then it's just going to have one dhamma at the end. And if it is a common noun, then it's going to have the matain at the end. That's what you're going to look for. So you're going to hear for the ending sound, or you're going to hear for the ending, both in male and female, all right? So it's going to be the ending sound. So if it is male, muslimun. If it is a female, muslimatun, right? Now, moving on, we have the dual, musanna, like it's called in Arabic. A dual masculine noun. This is the ending combination that it has, okay? Ani. See, your notes have it. It has the ani ending combination. And then as a feminine noun, you simply add the ta, tani ending combination, okay? So here, for dual, memorize it. For dual, it is ani. And then for the feminine, it is tani. Quickly go back here. For the singular, it's u, all right? Or un, okay? U or un, depending on whether it's proper or common. And when we go to the dual, it does not matter whether it's proper or common. The ending is going to be ani. If it's masculine, it's going to be tani. If it's feminine, all right? Now, moving on, you have the plural here, where the plural masculine noun, the noun is missing, and your notes over here, just add a noun. It's una, all right? Una ending combination. It will have a una ending combination here. Like this. This is what it's going to be, all right? Una ending combination for what? Male or female? Male, right? And over here for the female, it's going to have the atin, all right? If it is, it's going to have the atun, alif ta ending combination, all right? It's going to have the alif ta ending combination if it is feminine, and it's going to have the una ending combination if it is masculine. So this is the indicator for your plural. Make sense so far, Sadia? Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Okay, so we covered the singular, we covered the dual, and then we covered the plural. Easy so far? We just add the una and the atu if we, depending on whether it's masculine or feminine. Now, going back to my sketch pad, right, here. So you told me, or we were talking about, right, that man, when I make the plural for, let me get this one. Okay. Okay, so when I make the plural for man, I cannot go ahead and simply add an S there. Can I? Sadia? No, I cannot, right? If I want to make the plural for child, can I just go ahead and add childs? No, I can't, right? So what is the plural for man then?
Men.
Say it again.
Men.
Men, right? Here. So let me write M-E-N, right? Mm-hmm. And then what is the plural for child?
Children.
Children. Here, let me write it for you. Children. Okay, so what happened here? What happened, Sadia? Why can't I simply just add an S and make man? So why did it become, why did man turn to men and child turn to children?
There are exceptions to the S rule.
There are exceptions to the S rule, right? So what happened here is, you see the spelling completely changed, right? The original, and here something else was added, right? And how do you learn these things? Is there a specific formula that you can teach me and tell me that, for example, the plural for mouse is what? Is it this?
No.
No, right? So what's the plural for mouse?
Mice.
Mice, right? So how do I learn this?
Exposure.
Say it again.
Exposure and repetition.
Through exposure and repetition, right? So these kind of plurals that exist in English, meaning that do not follow your standard structure, right? Where the original sequence of the letters break, it exists in the Arabic language also, okay? In English, they're called broken plurals. In Arabic also, they're called your broken plurals, okay? It's a big topic. I'm just going to introduce it very slightly. There's nothing much really to understand in terms of concept. It's a matter of vocabulary and memorizing it. Simple. Okay, when you come to broken plurals, or when you come to plurals that are not broken, that have the una or the atu endings, right, it is simply about you memorizing them. And if you have not memorized, if you're not familiar with the word, then you just look it up in the dictionary. But that's pretty much it. Okay, there's nothing more to it, nothing less to it. Okay, so let's take a look at your notes over here, where it says that the Arabic plural is of two kinds, right? Sound plural, which is what you just learned. Okay, sound plural is where the noun remains unchanged, okay, and this is where you just attach the una, okay, or you attach the atu at the end. That's all. Okay, that's basically what your sound plural is called. It's like adding an S to the word. Okay, you just add the una or you add the atu to the end. However, when we're talking about broken plurals, okay, when we're talking about broken plurals, like you have woman and you see women, right? And you have man, you see men, and you have mouse, you see mice, and then you have goose, you see geese. So in these broken plurals, the original sequence of the root letters of a word are broken, right? The spelling has changed, like it happens in English, okay? It happens in the Arabic language, and I have provided you some common patterns and forms that most commonly come in the Quran. Okay, and what is the trick to figuring this out? Like I said, it's just exposure, it's building vocabulary, and then making dictionary your best friend. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So inshallah, the notes are not uploaded. He uploaded it. Belal uploaded it into the drive.
Not my drive, his drive.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. You can ask him. Mm-hmm.
We have the gender, but we don't have number notes.
Yeah, okay. But the audience can still see it, right? They can see the notes, but they don't have them. Okay, all right. So I just realized that the notes have not been uploaded. Inshallah, they're being uploaded in a couple of seconds, but you have them access through the screen right now. And please, if you have any questions, the live chat is on. Go ahead and ask the questions. So like we were talking about the broken plurals, all right? So what I said was that we like there's no formula to figure out that mouse is mice, right? Or that goose is geese, or that child is going to be children. There's no specific formula. Similarly, in the Arabic language also, what we have is we have specific patterns to tell us that it is a broken plural, okay? Do you have to memorize them? No, you don't have to memorize them. How do you figure them out? You use dictionary, okay? The more you read them, the more you begin to hear them, you just become used to it. It's like your sense of hearing tells you, okay, this is not right, or this is not the right plural, or this just does not make sense. You will be able to build that sense, inshallah. So now let's look at the different patterns here really quickly, and there's an exercise also, I think in the third or the fourth page of the packet that you will get in a little bit, inshallah, where you have a whole exercise that you can use to practice, okay, the different forms of, it's just for your practice, it's just to get you to see how the letters plug into the different skills, okay? So for example, this is one kind of a broken plural. I gave you the standard scale, all right? About scales, we're going to learn more in detail when we get to the verbs, okay? So now when I'm just saying scale, just hear it and move on with me, okay? What is the scale? What are root letters? Inshallah, we'll talk about it more when we get to the verbs. For now, let's just understand that af'alun that you see in front of you is a scale, okay? And the example for that is waladun awladun. So waladun will be singular, okay? Waladun is singular, awladun is your plural, okay? Now let's look at another example over here. You have qalbun, which is singular, qulubun, which is a broken plural. Now qalbun is singular. What will be the dual like? Sadia, can you tell me what the dual is going to sound like for qalbun?
Qalbani.
Exactly, you just add the ani, okay? Qalbani, all right? So it's just the plural that changes. For the dual, we simply add the ani endings, okay? So there's nothing like, alhamdulillah, that there's nothing like broken duals, okay? So we just have to deal with broken plurals. So you have the singulars, like let's look at the first one again. You have waladun, right? So waladun, the dual is going to be waladani, the plural is going to be awladun, all right? Moving on to the second one, you have qalbun, all right? Dual is going to be qalbani, and the plural is going to be qulubun. It simply cannot take the una ending, all right? Like children, like child cannot take the S ending. Simple as that, okay? Let's move on to the next one. You have rajulun, all right? Rajulun, the broken plural will be rijalun. These are different forms that are out there. Don't get overwhelmed by them. Just read through them, glance through them, inshallah it will come to you, okay? So rijalun is the broken plural, rajulani will be your dual, all right? Moving on to the next one, you have rijlun, okay, rijlun singular, arjul will be the broken plural, this is feet, okay, and this is safinatun, okay, which is boat or ship, and sufunun, which is the broken plural. So safinatun, all right, safinatun is your feminine singular, so your dual, Sadia, safinatun's dual is going to sound like what?
Safinatani.
Very good. Safinatani. I simply go ahead and add my ani ending. All right. Safinatani. And because the atu does not plug into safina, okay, it's a broken plural like children, this becomes sufunun. Okay, again, it's simply a pattern that you will become familiar with over time through exposure. Okay, let's look at another pattern. This is so, I mean, we always talk about it, right? Masjid, masajid, right? Masajid, the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So masajid is actually a broken plural. You don't say masjid singular, masjiduna. You don't add the una there, okay? It simply does not work like that. So what is the plural? Masajid. What is the dual for masjidun? Masjidani. Okay, ani is the dual for masjid. However, for the plural, we have the broken plural masajid. Let's move on to the next one, which is here. Number 8, you have mindilun. Okay, you have mindilun, which is handkerchief, and the dual will be mindilani. Okay, you simply add the ani, and the plural is manadil. All right, so handkerchief. Then we have sadiqun, all right, another form of a broken plural, asdiqa'u, okay, asdiqa'u. So sadiqun is the singular, your dual is simply going to be sadiqani, all right, you simply add the ani, and the broken plural here is asdiqa'u. You cannot say sadiquna. It does not work that way, okay? So remember the child and the children rule. So sadiqun, sadiqani, asdiqa. It's the broken plural. Now, we go to number 10, which is faqirun, singular. Sadia, what's the dual for faqirun?
Faqirani.
Faqirani, and your plural will be, can you make faqiruna?
No.
No, we cannot make faqiruna. So fuqara, you simply memorize it, okay, like you memorize child, children, okay, goose, geese. Now, moving on to number 11, kaslanu, right? So kaslan is your singular, kusala is your broken plural, okay? You have it in the Quran. La taqraba salah wa antum sukara. Do not come to prayer while you are in the state of intoxication. All right. So number 12 now. Look at the next one. Barun, okay? Barara. Simply another form. You see it a lot in the Quran, okay? Righteous, right. One righteous person, barun, and then barara, many righteous people. And then 13, ibriq, all right, which is a jug or a pitcher, okay? Ibriq, abariq. Ibriqani will be 2 pitchers, all right, and abariq will be broken plural, all right? Last 2, isba'un, finger, asabi', fingers. Isba'un, isba'ani, 2 fingers. Asabi' is your broken plural, okay? And then you have ghulamun, a small child, right? Ghulamun, a small child. Ghilmanun, many small children. You're not going to say many small childs, right? Many small children. So that's your broken plural, all right? Singular, you simply make the plural by adding ani to it, and when it comes to the plural, it will either have your sound plural endings, which is that of una or atu, right? Or it will be a broken plural. It's as simple as that. The broken plural do not become, many people become overwhelmed by the broken plurals. Actually, there is no need. If you think about it in English, like how did you learn that the plural of goose is geese, right? Or of mouse is mice. How did you learn it? It's not like you sat down with a formula sheet to help you plug in these words, right? So same thing in Arabic. Just give it some time. The more you get exposed to vocabulary, the more second nature this is going to become, inshallah. Okay, so what I did over here right now is I simply took you over, because there are about 70 different forms of broken plural patterns, right? Over 70. Now, I just picked some very common ones that you usually see in the Quran, right? And even in the ahadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and just put them here. Of course, this is not a comprehensive list, okay? So I gave the standard scale, and like I said, when we talk about scale, what a scale is, what a root letter is, what root words are, inshallah, we'll talk about it in detail when we get to verbs. For now, just flow along with me, okay? So really quickly, to recap what we have spoken about so far is that we introduced the number in the Arabic grammar today, okay? The number for the nouns, all right? So the number for the nouns is 3. Number 1 is singular, number 2 dual, and then plural, okay? So singular, it's simple. It just has the u or the un ending, depending on whether it's proper or common, right? And it will have the feminine marker to tell you if it's feminine or if it's not feminine, right? So we have that sorted out. Secondly, when we move to our dual nouns, all you have to do is you have to look for the ani ending combination, alif nun, whether it's a male or whether it's a female. The female indicator will be that it will have a tani at the end, okay? So like kalimatani, the ta is telling you that it's a that the noun is feminine, okay? But you still have your ani, nothing different from the male to the female. It's just the ani endings that we're going to look for. Once we move to the plural, that's where things change up a little bit, okay? So here, when we move to the plural, the una is for your masculine, which is waw and noon, okay? It's for your masculine, it's una, that's it, it cannot be uni. This is another confusion that many students go through. Uni or unu, nothing like, it has to be una for it to classify as ending for masculine plural, okay? Waw, noon. The waw has to have a sakin. That's this, like it, that is the S, okay? That is the S. It cannot be Z, it cannot be X, it cannot be Y, okay? So it has to be waw, noon combination, all right? Then for the feminine, when you come, all right, it's your alif and ta combination, okay? So if it is proper, it's going to be atu, okay? And if it's going to be common, it's going to be atun. That's all. This is how your sound or your standard plurals look like. But like in English, we spoke about broken plurals, the concept of broken plurals, right? Where man becomes men, where mouse becomes mice. Similarly, we have waladun, it becomes awladun. Okay, or we have rasulun, it becomes rusulun. You cannot go rasulun, rasulani, rasuluna. It does not work like that. So rasulun, rasulani, and then rusulun. Okay, so these are broken plurals that we call them because the standard structure or the standard sequence does not remain. What is the formula to figuring them out? None. It's memorizing and it's vocabulary, okay? So any questions so far, Sadia, before we dive into the exercises for today?
No.
Nope? Okay, good. Now, in your packet on page number 3, I have provided you with the charts, all right? So if whenever you're able to access the packets, it's there. Okay, good. They're telling me that the packets have been uploaded, all right? So if you open your packets, then page 3 will show you the charts. I have provided the charts for the proper sound plurals, the common sound plurals, both masculine and feminine, okay? The endings have been highlighted, so it's very easy for you to follow. So if you look at this one, okay, really quickly, al-muslimu, okay, so this is the ending that is being highlighted, all right? The dhamma is being highlighted. Muslimani, ani, and then muslimuna, una. So you look at the feminine and you look at the proper and common and you move on from there, okay? So that is your page number 3. Now, if you look at your page number 4, there are exercises. We're not going to do, of course, all of it here. I'm just going to have Sadia do maybe one so that audience, 1 or 2, so that audience will know how to work through this exercise, inshallah. Sadia? So exercise 4A says, write the dual and the plural for each of the nouns below. So you're going to give the singular is provided, all right? And you are going to write the dual and the plural for each. There is a template for you in the next page. okay, which is page number 5. You just use that template to plug in your answers, okay? So say, for example, Sadia, can you do the second one for me where it says al-jahidu? Al-jahidu. Give me the dual and the plural for it.
Okay, so the dual is al-jahidu, al-jahidani.
Very good. Al-jahidani. We simply added the ani, okay?
And then the plural is al-jahiduna.
Al-jahiduna, which is the una ending. Excellent. Okay, can you look at number 6 before we move on to the next exercise? Sahiratun.
Sahiratun. Okay, the dual is sahiratani.
Very good.
The plural is sahiratuna.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, not
Sahiratuna?
No, that won't work.
That won't work. What is it? It's sahiratun, and what is the plural?
Plural is plural is atun. So sahiratun.
Very good. Sahiratun, because it's why? Why atun? Why didn't una work here?
Feminine.
It's feminine. Very good. Okay. Now I need to do another one with you then. As-sabiqatu. Go ahead. As-sabiqatu. Give me the dual for as-sabiqatu.
Sabiqatu. Okay, dual is sabiqatani.
Very good. As-sabiqatani. Afrin, by the way, has beat you to it. Okay. And what is the plural?
The plural is a sabiqatu.
Good. As-sabiqatu, right? As-sabiqatu, how often it comes in the Quran. MashaAllah. Okay, so now you're not confused, right? Remember, when you see the gender, okay, when you have to note the gender. If the gender is telling you that it's feminine, you have to know what endings apply. Okay, and the easiest thing about the Quran is, right, that it's all there for you. You don't have to come up with this on your own. The harakats are there, everything is there. You just have to know what is what. So that makes things really easy for us. The tashkil is there, okay? So like I said, it's all, maybe today after class, what you can do is you can open your mushaf, okay? Open your mushaf. I really encourage you to do this. You open your mushaf and you circle all the nouns that you can recognize, okay? Once you have recognized the nouns, you try to identify their type. Okay, whether it's proper or common, and of course that's we have gone through that entire list. For now, just stick to alif lam and tanween. Don't go more than that. Okay, so if you see alif lam, proper. If you see tanween, it's common, right? So that's your type. Now the next property was what? Gender, right? And we have identified our markers for gender. We understand that every noun is considered masculine until it can be proven feminine, and we went through that entire list of reasons which make a noun feminine, right? So if you need to refresh, listen to the previous recording, right? The recording from last class, and you'll have a quick refresher there. So that's type, gender, and then today what you learned is number. Okay, so go ahead and identify the number looking at the endings. By now, one thing that you must have noted is it's all about the endings. All right, your focus has to be at the ending of the word. The ending of the word gives you the details. Okay. So alhamdulillah, in the 4 weeks since we started, we have covered the type of words, and now we have covered 3 of the 4 properties of nouns: type, gender, number, T, G, N, and inshallah in the next class we're going to be covering status, T, G, N, S. Because we are running short of time, I'm going to skip going over the next few exercises, but please go ahead and make an attempt, do those exercises on your own. The more you practice, the more confident you will feel. These are all very easy concepts. It's all about practice, 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 right? So the more you practice, the more familiar you will become. I have put in various broken plurals also in there. If you have questions, you can always put them in the chat box or even in the comment section, and they will be answered in a timely manner, inshallah. So before I sign off, one more reminder, please continue to support East Plano Islamic Center through this pandemic by visiting the links, the various options that are there for donation at the links that are coming up at the bottom of your screen, right? Keep us in your du'as, and most importantly, as Ramadan is coming, keep the entire humanity we stand together as brothers and sisters, right, in this time of crisis. So keep everyone in your du'as. The families who are going through difficult situations, are going through challenging times, maybe where they have lost their loved ones, or they are dealing with someone who is, or they know someone who is a victim of this crisis. Please keep them in your du'as. Please keep Epic again in your du'as, all the shuyukh in our community who are working day in and day out, the Epic management that is working day in and day out in order to make sure that this runs smoothly and we all remain connected to the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, salamun ala al-mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما إن الذين يؤذون الله ورسوله لعنهم الله في الدنيا والآخرة وأعد لهم عذابا مهينا والذين يؤذون المؤمنين والمؤمنات بغير ما اكتسبوا فقد احتملوا بهتانا وإثما مبينا